Pulling up in the rain. Arrow had no spade. Toxic in my face. Diamonds dripping lemonade. Pulling up on fame. I'm shining. Yeah, pushing, I'm grinding. See the shine, I'm diamond. See the pink and it shining. Yeah, baby, and I'm fine. Yeah, you see me and I'm fine. Squeeze shooting at that fire. Taking the shot and I'm rolling my clip. Guess I'm my nigga and they loving the shit. The bitches, they bouncing their shit.
Welcome to another episode of Life Off-Road. This week's feature is the brand new 2021 Mercedes Benz AMG E53 Coupe, that is. This is a beautiful car. I just want to say that off the rip. First thing you notice is this paint job, this graphite gray metallic is what they call it. And it really, the cameras do it no justice. You have to really see the car in person. I always had an affinity for the Mercedes, the coupes that is. I always loved their body styles versus the sedans. I mean, the sedans are cool, but when you start getting to the coupes in either the E-Class or the S-Class, I mean, that's when it really just sets the whole manufacturers apart as far as me being a sports guy, just that edge. And this is a good looking car. This car looks aggressive from the front, I mean, all the way to the rear. I mean, the way it sits, I mean, it has a really sportier, muscular profile, but still at the same time keeps it simple with the luxuriousness of Mercedes, as a Mercedes should be. This one has a set of Pirelli P0 run flat tires on it. They come on 20 inches. These are the AMG wheels. They have the AMG badged in the wheel well there. And I want to say on the fronts they come on 245 30 series and 275 30s on the rear. This car is equipped with the 3.0 liter straight six. It's an inline six cylinder. It's turbocharged. It's pumping out 429 horsepower, which is very fast coming out of a six cylinder. You know, a lot of people scoff at, you know, six-cylinder engines and whatnot, but today's technology, I mean, you could damn near gear 500-600 horsepower, especially if you tune this thing correctly. But like I said, 429 horsepower, 384 foot-pounds of torque. 0 to 60 is around 4.3, 4.2, somewhere in that range, which is very quick and respectable. It runs a quarter mile in the low 12s at around 115 miles an hour. I want to say the top speed of these is roughly around 147, 150-ish, give or take. It's governed, obviously. You take it to the right tuner, though, I'm sure they can open it up and you could probably do almost 200. But that's neither here nor there. We're not going to do that on the streets. But like I said, it's very, very fast. Car weighs roughly around 4,300 pounds, so it's a little hefty. But with the technology, you know, the airbags and, you know, the all-wheel drive, it's going to add that little bit of weight. But as I said before, it does have the 4MATIC, which is the all-wheel drive, so it can't dance when it wants to dance. And I believe it has a feature on here where you could kind of dial most of the power back to the rear end if you wanted to have maybe 60% going towards the rear. If you want to kind of get it out and slide around a little bit, you could. But like I said, this thing is well equipped, very fast. It's a beautiful car. I like the car a lot. Especially like this front grille. That's the first thing that grabs your attention when you look at this thing. Just the opening of the grille. I mean, it's just, if you see this in your rear mirror, you just want to just get out the way because it looks very aggressive. But enough of the chit chat. You know, I want to get back in this car because I've been driving it a little bit early. So let's go for a little ride. All right, 2021 AMG E53. Yes, finally. This is such a cool car. Very beautiful car. So, these things, like I said, they're pretty shifty. And of course, they're very smooth, as only a Benz should be. But they ride great, as you can tell. These sit on a set of Pirelli P0s, run flats. I believe they have 255s up front and 275s in the rear on a 30 series tire. So you gotta a little bit of meat back there. One of the first cool features I noticed about this thing is that this thing has a G-force meter in here, which for all my fighter pilots out here, that is very cool. I mean, to have that in your car, you can kind of see it as you're driving. I mean, it's definitely, you know, technology with these cars are pretty up to date. You know, you pay for it, you know, in weight, because this car does, like I said earlier, it does weigh over 4,000 pounds, which is 2 tons. But you know, with this power, I mean, it can still, you know, dance a little bit. And with it being all-wheel drive, I mean, that helps as well. So interior is very roomy in here. You know, I've always loved the E-Class and the S-Class Benz's, the coupes. I've always had a very fascination with the coupes. They always look sexy to me and just very distinct, man. It's just such a cool looking car. And of course, this would be a great road trip car, you know, if you put this thing on the road. This thing does have the Alcantara steering wheel, which I love. It has a flat bottom wheel, which I like for your racers out there. It's kind of set up like a Formula One car, you know. You look at all the gadgets and the gauges and whatnot. I mean, it's a Benz, you know, it's what you get out of it. And AMG is, like I said, it's one of those racing series where, you know, they race over in Le Mans and Formula One. Lewis Hamilton is one of the best top drivers that drives for Mercedes. And the front grille, I love what they did with these front grills. I mean, it's definitely sucking a lot of air with just the opening of it. Now, the only downside to that is that bottom piece is so open, so I can see where it's easy to get, you know, some unwanted debris or stuff in there, and it will probably be a pain to clean out. But other than that, I mean, I'm sure you can go to an aftermarket and buy you like a little mesh grill or something to put, you know, in front of it to keep all that heavy debris out or whatnot. But other than that, man, this thing breathes. I mean, it's an AMG, so it's definitely ready to run. There we go. Of course, you have your boost gauge in here. All this dash, like the BMWs, it's all, you know, digital. So then you have your boost gauge. This does have the EQ boost in here, which is kind of what a lot of these modern cars are going to now. With the it's basically a separate electric battery that kind of adds. I'm not sure about the horsepower on this one. I know the BMW is around 11 horsepower, so I'm assuming it's probably the same. But what that does is in between changing gears in these things, you know, especially when you put it in sport, even though this is not a dual clutch automatic, this is happening to be a speed TCT automatic. It happens to you know, kind of make up for the lag in between shifting gears, you know, if that makes sense. So it's not it doesn't shift as hard as a dual clutch, but you know, it's still, you mad at it, it's going to go. So that's one of the cool things I like about it. Man, this is this is nice, man. This is nice. Very smooth. You can feel the power is there. So many different modes in this thing that you can use to drive this thing with. There's so many packages you can order with Mercedes as far as interior trim or whatnot, but this has your red, your two-tone leather, which I love. These seats are, man, they're nice. They're heated and ventilated, so you know, they definitely have all the bells and whistles. So like I said before earlier, if you want to take it for a nice road trip, you know, you could. And it wouldn't disappoint. So let's jump up on the highway and see how she does up there. And let's take it up on the highway. So like I said, we are in the Sport Plus mode, and this thing pulls off the rip. It's definitely holding its own. It's definitely holding its own. And I'm sure you get good gas economy out of it. I mean, I want to say this thing is 21 in the city, 28 on the highway. So but I'm sure if you're in this mode, it's going to really drink some gas. Of course, it's turbocharged too. But this thing does have the extra battery, like I said, you know, to help with the, it's kind of like a mild hybrid. It's the EQ Boost. If I can get it out. It's what they call it. So, it's not bad at all. It definitely it has a nice little gauge. It has its own boost gauge. Like I said, this thing has a G meter, and it's pretty cool. It's just a lovely day out here to go for a ride. We got a little bit of traffic up here, but nothing I can't handle. Yeah, it's pretty quick. I don't know if this thing comes with the MyJason system that helps you keep your car centered in the lane. It wouldn't shock me if it did. This does have the one-piece entertainment screen. I want to say it's around 12.3 or so. And get a good look at the side view here with all the windows rolled down. This I'll tell you, man, these coupes are they're real sexy by Mercedes. I'm telling you, man, it's really a good looking car. Perfect day, man. Got a panoramic sunroof. You know, opens up halfway towards the back of the car. It's really nice. But yeah, you see the lines on this car, the curves. I mean, it's well crafted as far as its attention to detail that they did on this car, as far as the curves, the lines, even the hood humps. I mean, it really just brings the car out. And these set of wheels that come on the car, it's just gorgeous. Screen so many different ways. You can set it up for race mode, comfort, lounge. I mean, it's pretty much however you want to take it to your liking. You know, it can accommodate whatever mode you want. And like I said, these brakes, AMG brakes, I'm not sure if they're Brembo or not. I think these are AMG actually brakes that come with all of these cars. I want to say they're a two-piece rotor. I believe these might be four-piston rotors, but they are ventilated disc. So they do stop on a dime. You hear that mode just kick in, man. I mean, it definitely kicks in, and it hugs the car. It hugs these curves. That's what you get with the AMG suspension. I mean, this is, like I said, this is like a race car suspension, so it's definitely going to hold. Absolutely beautiful. They built the one here. I could drive this all day, every day. I mean, whether I want to take it to the track or I just want to ride around on a sunny drive, it's definitely a cool car. I'm sure my friend has a lot of fun in it. Once see these things are priced, they start out around, I want to say 83, 84,000. I'm sure one well equipped is maybe 95 to 100,000, but you know, that's what you get when you pay for the AMGs. You know, you pay for that badge. You know, it's one of a kind. So, you know, these are definitely exclusive cars. like I said, you can control everything with this screen, whether it's, you know, the steering wheel controls, you know, you have your mouse here. I mean, this car, I'm sure, has its own Wi-Fi in it. I mean, you could pretty much control. It has its own app. You can, you know, unlock the car, start the car up with the app. I mean, it's, like I said, technology in 2021, I mean, that's what you're getting with these cars. So it's kind of like you're getting a computer plus the car. So you have to adapt, folks. You have to adapt to technology. That's the way of the world these days. It's kind of like with the flip phones and the iPhones. Once the iPhone came out, flip phones were just irrelevant. Ultra smooth, this car is. Ultra smooth. Remember my last Mercedes video, as I kept saying Mercedes, it was, hey, what can I help you with? Don't get that in this one. But each year these things get better and better. It's like you really can't, they really don't go backwards. I mean, they just get better and better when they build these cars, you know. And I'm not just saying that because I'm in it. I mean, that's what newer cars today, period, in general. I mean, even the American cars, I mean, they just, like I said, technology just gets better and better. And it's like grabbing a new phone. You have to adjust to the technology. Otherwise, you know, you get left behind. You know, so you have to adapt. You know, it's kind of way of life nowadays. Well, that's it for this week. I want to thank my friend for allowing me to drive her baby. I had a real blast driving this thing. This thing is really fun, folks. I mean, Mercedes really showed out with this thing, and I have to call her back over here and let me drive again some more. Probably hold it for the weekend. I also want to give a special shout out to my new subscribers, Jody, Anna, and Jalen Hayes. I appreciate you guys for newly subscribing. And then, folks, if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting on? Subscribe to my YouTube channel, J-Dub Motorsports. Go to my website, jdubmotorsports.com. Get your t-shirt, order you some merch, help the channel out. That's all I got. We'll see you next week.
Pulling up on face, clean got me in a daze. Whipped cream, heavy glaze. Whipped cream, heavy glaze.